next force meat is a classic French technique which is wrapped in a pastry dough. We are going to be a little bit extra for today because we are going to make the pastry dough from scratch. So let's make some chicken pate en croûte. So come and join me and have a meal with Camille.
Pate en croûte is a term that indicates a food, a meat, game, or fish filling that has been wrapped in a pastry dough and then baked in the oven. This dish is then covered with some aspic, which is a savory jelly made with gelatin and stock, set in a mold, and used to contain the filling. This unique dish will surely tickle your curiosity. Here are the ingredients to make our basic pate dough. This will yield about 626 grams. First step is to place the flour, dry milk, salt, baking powder, shortening, and butter in a bowl and mix until the dough is a fine meal. Place the dough in a mixer, then add in the eggs, vinegar, and 120 to 150 ml of the milk. Mix on low speed to form a ball. However, if you don't have a mixer with you, you can do it manually. Here, you determine the amount of milk and if it needs more. The dough should be moist yet dry, so if it does not hold together and it is not moist enough, then add more milk. If the consistency of the dough is just right, mix on medium speed for 3 to 4 minutes to develop the gluten. Knead by hand until smooth and tucking all the ends under as you would to shape a ball of bread. Wrap it in a plastic wrap and rest for a minimum of 30 minutes. For best result, you can rest it overnight in the refrigerator before rolling and cutting the dough. Meanwhile, here are the ingredients for our chicken pate en croûte. First step is to add oil in a pan, then sweat the shallots and garlic in the oil. Deglaze with the brandy, then cool it down. I didn't have any meat grinder, therefore I just asked the butcher to grind the meat for me. Simply combine the ground meats, which is the leg and thigh meat, pork fat, and fat back, with salt, shallot mixture, rosemary, mustard, thyme, nutmeg, and pepper, and marinate for an hour. After marinating the mixture, transfer the ground meats to a food processor with a chilled bowl and blade and add the egg. Blend for a minute or until smooth. Scoop a small amount of the meat mixture and pan fry to check the seasoning. Once contented with the seasoning, let's do our dough. Roll out the dough and line a hinge mold. Slightly roll the dough thinly because we do not want a thick pastry dough. What I did was to roll it out first, then cut off the excess, then divide the dough into two. I divided the dough into two because the first one would be the base, while we are going to top and cover the force meat with the second dough. Then place the first dough in our mold. Pack the force meat into the line mold. When I placed the filling, then I realized that my mold was too big enough. Therefore, I adjusted the dough and placed the second one over the top, cutting away any excess. Brush the surface with the egg wash. I slightly scored the dough so that when it will bake, we will have a design on top of it. Cut and reinforce vent holes. Now we are ready to bake our chicken pate en croûte. Bake it in a preheated 230 degrees Celsius oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then reduce the heat to 350 Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius and finish baking to an internal temperature of 165 Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius, which will take about 15 minutes. Remove the patty from the oven and allow it to cool around 32 to 38 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, let's do our aspic. It is just simply a combination of 240 ml of chicken stock and 14 grams of gelatin. Once cooled, ladle the aspic through a funnel into the pate. Cover, then refrigerate the pate for at least 24 hours. Now, let's serve our dish. And there you have it, our chicken pate en croûte. I plated it with some liver patty on the side and some fresh radish. Thank you for today's episode and I can't wait to see you again for a meal with Camille.
Hi! Now we are down to our last force meat for today, which I consider my favorite. You can pair it with a lot of food, and it is a meat spread that are well loved during tea parties. Let's make some chicken liver pate. So come and join me and have a meal with Camille.
Pate is a term used to a rich, savory paste made from minced or mashed ingredients, typically meat or fish. For today, we'll be using some chicken liver, so get your favorite crackers or some rustic bread to pair with our liver pate. First thing to do is to soak 500 grams of clean chicken livers in a 350 ml milk or as needed for soaking for about 12 to 24 hours. When ready to use, drain well and pat dry with absorbent paper towels. Now, here are the rest of the ingredients to make our chicken liver pate. We'll be needing 60 grams of butter, 5 grams of minced garlic, 100 grams of minced onion, 2 grams of ground white pepper, 1 gram of salt, 1.50 grams of Italian seasoning, 30 ml of brandy, 140 grams of cold and cubed butter, 50 ml of heavy cream, and 50 ml of clarified butter. First is to saute garlic and onion and butter until cooked. Add in the liver, season with salt, pepper, herbs, and the brandy. Then, keep sauteing and cook until they change color. This will usually take about 5 minutes. Then, transfer the sautéed liver to a food processor and blend until smooth. Then, add cold butter and cream in portions. Strain the blended mixture with a fine mesh sieve to attain a smoother texture. Then, transfer to a container. Usually, ramekin is used for liver pates, but you can use any container that you have. And look at my dog smelling the beautiful aroma of our chicken liver pate. Seal with some clarified butter on top and then refrigerate. I also top it with some dried rosemary to add more flavor and aroma. Now, let's plate our dish. And there you have it, our chicken liver pate. You can spread this over crackers or some rustic toasted bread, and you can add more toppings. Thank you for today's episode, and I can't wait to see you again for a meal with Camille.